The enemy.
But the deeper problem with bottleneck Biden's supply chain crisis is not that the supply chains are disrupted, but the fact they exist in the first place. For decades, the establishment in both the stores, the warehouses, right, the trucks, or the ships or the ports. Oh, so it's the private sector's fault. It's our fault. The Biden regime, who profited from the hollowing out of America's heartland and our manufacturing base. We weakened ourselves while strengthening our number one enemy. And now look what's happening. China's threatening an invasion of Taiwan, and just today we see reports of a nuclear-capable hypersonic missile far more advanced than anything we thought they had. We enabled this. We made China richer so they could invest in the technology they're now planning to use for world domination. And when I say we, I actually mean you, Bill Clinton, you, George Bush, you, Barack Obama, and you, Joe Biden, all of you, pushing the decades-long suck-up to China, the most disastrous strategic miscalculation in modern history. China's power is built on economic foundations that we put there. It's time to take them away. So no, we should not be rushing to fix our broken supply chain with China. It's not a supply chain, it's a noose. Let's cut ourselves free, decouple from China, bring back jobs to America. We may not be at war with China, but they are most surely at war with us. So let's use the Trading with the Enemy Act to immediately enforce a complete economic disengagement from China. Here with the reaction, Fox News contributor Sarah Carter. Sarah, what do you think? Can we do this? Can we decouple from China?
Well, people have been asking this opposition to China for decades. Analysts have been saying, look, China is the greatest threat. The Chinese Communist Party is one of the biggest threats. We saw just recently, just a week ago, a senior official with the Pentagon, with the Air Force, say, I resign because China's cybersecurity makes us look like kindergarten. Why are we so far behind? And look at China's threats to Taiwan. We've seen China overtly threatening Taiwan, and there's issues with the semiconductors. We are so far behind. We are so far behind, and we've turned over the supply chain to China, and we've done so for decades. So will we just stop it? We could have had that opportunity under President Trump. President Trump overtly was very kind to China, and behind the scenes, he dealt with a heavy fist, a heavy hand. And that is something that we're not seeing now in the Biden administration. I'm very fearful of what we can see in the next few decades. Steve, look back at COVID, right? All we have to do is look and know that we were under threat there in national security because China basically manufactures over, 95% of our antibiotics, our vitamin C, all of our supplies. So if we don't wake up and do something about this, we could find ourselves far behind China. We will not be the United States we know now. We will be something quite different.
Exactly right, and they know that we're so dependent on them, and that's why they're not really worried by what they're saying, and then they see us now scrambling. So, we've got to refix the supply chain, and then these people aren't serious. We can keep going the way it's always been.
Right.
Just because you've been following it so closely, Sarah, I want to ask you a different topic, if I may, but such an important one, about the border, because there's a lot of new information that came out this week about
this year, if it continues, and we're looking at roughly 400,000 people trying to enter the United States this month. So this is how serious it is. It's a national security crisis, Steve. It's a humanitarian crisis. It's extraordinarily dangerous. We have had armed cartel members literally threatening our law enforcement officials on the Rio Grande, stepping right in and threatening our National Guard. And our National Guard and our law enforcement officials have to just step back and do nothing. They are terrified that this is going to escalate into an international incident. So